computer,
Yep. There you go.
and I'm going to go into live stream now, and we'll just rabbit for a little bit about nothing in particular.
That's good.
Just make sure I've got continue as Wade. I'm going to shut down the other Facebook things that I have open because that will go to do to do. Okay, so it's not going to be on my timeline. It's going to be um we for as much as COVID certainly got a bad rap, it definitely taught us new things like
Yeah,
right like
like
this.
Zoom and Teams
hmm
and all of that. Yep,
And
definitely.
poor old what was the software that completely missed it? Uh, I'm trying to think of the name of there was a popular streaming kind of not a streaming, but a recording thing for movies. And they kind of missed it. They didn't go with this, and Zoom just picked it up and ran with it. I'm trying to think of the name. Anyway, are you ready?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
All right, I'm just going to go live, and we're just going to rabbit on for a bit here. I'm going to check that it's all working on my end, and I'll get everybody to share it, including me preparing live stream. Okay. So I'm just going to go to the NDRC page, and I'm sure that Kelsey is already sharing 9 minutes ago. She's already put something up. So,
Oh, she's
and
all over it.
yeah,
I'm pretty lucky in that regard. Like, she just helps organize my life.
yeah,
Don't know what I do
and
though.
she's amazing.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to share it to mine. Let's catch up. I was going to say let's go all the way with Josh Leahy, but it's an old song from the 90s. Let's go all the way. So if you're tuning in just now, Josh and I are just making small talk for a couple of minutes, and then we're going to chat. So I want you to share this, please, everybody, if you wouldn't mind. Um, Josh doesn't have to worry about that because his beautiful wife does that for him.
She takes care of all of it.
Yeah,
She's awesome.
she sure is. Everybody loves her. You know
Yeah.
that. They're
Yeah.
like, oh, Kels. Oh, hi, Josh. Or is that just me that does that? No, it's all about
Nah.
team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nah.
Yeah, nah. I'm just tagging a few Aeroflow, Nitro Funny Car, etc. So if you could, we would love you to share this, everybody, and make sure we can get as many people around it as we can. National Drag Racing Championship. So we'll go live now. And we're going to give away. Now, Josh, you need to remember this because I'm not going to. We need to remember we're going to give away. Oh, Ross Lamatina, straight up there. Nicholas Polito. Hello to all the pro stockers, the pro stock. Good to see all you guys tuned in. We're going to give away 2 passes to the New Year Nitro event on January 10 and 11. I just got to work out how we're going to do that. Oh, Morris McMillan's not in bed yet. He's watching. Probably curled up with a nice cup of warm cocoa, and Mons is checking that she's got the pillows all padded for him. And there's another guy that's lucky, Josh. All your Aeroflow Nitro Funny Car dudes all have amazing wifeys that run your life.
Yeah, we're pretty lucky in that regard. Yeah.
Oh, she's watching. Kelsey Walford Lay is watching. Now, I imagine at some point, I'm looking for D Dub. At some point, there's going to be D Dub.
Yeah, I reckon he'll jump on.
You
Yeah.
think so?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm watching for how many lays are going to tune in here because at some point, although, what is your brother-in-law's name? Because you're not all lays,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Yeah, yeah, no. So Joel. Joel Campese. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
cool. So
James's.
I'll look for the Campese name as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very famous rugby league name too, or rugby union name. So wonderful to have your company, everybody. We're tuned in with Josh Lay, and it's been a couple of weeks actually since he had one of the most profound experiences of his life until March. And then in March, something happens that's going to put that win way off in the distance. Oh, Daryl, there he is, right on time. D-Dub, Daryl Walford, drag racing legend, has just tuned in. So, hello, D-Dub. That is, of course, a very important part of your family, too. And we're going to talk about that in a few moments as well, because you've got the Lay and you've got the Walford side, and you're all multi-generation. So, super cool things.
Yeah.
If you're not aware, Josh won his first ever Aeroflow Nitro Funny Car Gold Christmas Tree at the Spring Nationals at Dragway at the Bend after only his third round. Like that is pretty epic. I bet you did not imagine it was going to happen so quickly, Josh.
Nah, didn't imagine it was going to happen that quickly. Honestly, I think it's still sinking in, like it's surreal.
Yeah.
Coming into the Spring Nationals, like, look, I didn't have a round win yet. Yep, it was only my third event, but like a round win was the goal basically. Just strapping into like the A final was, it was kind of funny because there was two things running through my mind. It was, oh my God, there's a gold Christmas tree up for grabs here. That
Yeah.
real, like, can't believe it. We got to this point. But the other thing was, oh wow, I'm in a Nitro Funny Car going to the final. Like that's still sinking in. So yeah, look, the fact that we're at that position, it was unreal. But I think it was when you came over, Wade, and we had a quick chat. I was just like, no, I need to focus on just this as if it was another round, and keep my head screwed on, basically.
Hmm.
Was excited for Adam Murray as well to be lining up against him
Yeah.
too, because that was his first final in the in that
Yep.
yeah in that car as well. So that was pretty exciting. But look, to come away with the gold Christmas tree was unreal. So it was honestly like a true credit to Morris for tuning the car. Like he does a great job tuning the Aeroflow and the Rocket Industries car. GC and Wendy, they invest in great
Hmm.
race cars and give us great opportunity, as well as provide a huge amount of support. That the Aeroflow race shop as well, they're just world class. They do a fantastic job putting the cars together, and the Rocket Industries team on the day, like they were just, yeah, outstanding.
So, couple of funny things happened. Firstly, um, the current Australian champion had all sorts of discombobulations, including one of his lenses falling out of his glasses for one of his runs. So he was trying to do
Yep.
that. And with Walshy's life, anything is possible. Isn't he just one of the most epic? If I had to travel in a small car somewhere for 10 hours, I would want to go with Walshy.
You know what? The road trips are very funny. So we've all got like a convoy with the trailers, and yeah, like on the two-way, he's constantly making jokes. He's hilarious. And you would have spotted that in the staging lanes as well. Like he's always up for a laugh. But like once the helmet goes on, he's serious. So he's definitely a threat to
Yeah.
the competition, and yeah, all round good guy.
Speaking of all-round good guys, Jason Hedges is tuned in. Hedgie, there's a guy that's very, very passionate about drag racing and speedway and a whole lot of things, working on some really good programs as well. Josh, as you would well know, that Hedgie's got a really cool series that he's up and running as well. That is going to, when we get to Sydney, too, is going to marry together, I think, Sydney Speedway and the drags in the one day for the one ticket, which is super cool.
Yep. That's awesome. Like to sort of cross-pollinate with
Yeah.
that sort of motorsport. Like you've kind of got the same, like very similar audience, I guess, between the two motorsports. So
Hmm.
they cross over. And when we're not drag racing, we love to go and watch the speedways. So
Yeah.
it just makes a lot of sense, especially at like Sydney Dragway there with the speedway next door.
So the fastest lovering is tuned in. So if I if I said that, would you think I meant Pete or Cruz?
I'd say Pete, but yeah, Cruz is fast too.
Well,
Like
Cruz has got the quicker
he's
ET, by the way.
yeah, he's fast in a funny car.
And he's reminded me about that every time I speak to him that he's quicker than his old man. So his ET, it's only like by 2/1000ths of a second or something like that. But we missed Pete. He wasn't at the event. He's just got the new car together, the much lighter body. So
Yep.
we're going to see him at the next round, I hope. But hello to Jeremy Callahan as well, tuned in, who also had some dramas on the day at the Bend. But what a facility, Josh. What an incredible. It was your first experience there as a funny car racer. What'd you think?
Yep. Oh, we love the Bend. It's an amazing facility, Sam Shaheen, he's invested the money where it counts, and it's just a well finished, polished racetrack. Very smooth. The track prep was awesome all weekend. Like Justin Simpson doing a great job with the track prep. And it's just got the right recipe, I think, as well to put on a
Yeah.
great show. We love it. The pits are also a good size as well. It doesn't take much for you to look over to see in one hand a Nitro Funny Car, and then just next door there's a door slammer. So it's yeah, right now it's a great event and kind of shows how lucky we are in Australia too to have all of these great racetracks, especially this new one, the Bend. So it's pretty special. It was also really special to race there at the Bend. So back in 1979, my grandpa actually built the original drag strip there.
No way.
So they opened it in April and look, there was a couple of mishaps, including a rain out and a wind out. There was one event where they had to cancel because the dust picked up. So I think we can appreciate what that can be like, Wade. But yeah, it was felt pretty special racing there, knowing that there was a bit of history there already with Grandpa.
Yeah.
And even more special, quite a few people throughout the race event, like were coming up saying, "Oh, are you related to Rolly Lay?" I'm like, "Yeah, yep, grandson." And they've all been like, "Yep, we remember him when he was here in Adelaide and raced." So that was pretty special to sort of experience that too. And in a way, like reflecting on it, felt like he was there watching down. So yeah,
Yeah. And I
special.
love that number. I love the fact that you carry his number.
Yep.
I want to say hello to Maggie Sainty. Maggie always tunes in on my stuff as well. And the Sainty family are just royalty in Sydney and throughout Australia as well. We're going to talk about the width of the bend, mate. She might be wide, but it wasn't quite wide enough for you in the right hand lane.
Yep. Look, just it's one of those things that look, I just didn't drive it enough, is what it came down to. And yeah, look, it was a different car compared to the one I was driving at the previous event, but at the same time, like still feel like I'm catching up with these cars. When they're accelerating up to 500 Ks towards the finish line, everything's moving pretty quickly. So, yeah, but look, don't want that to happen again, and yeah, should be a good one next time we go down.
I want to say hello to Frank Scarterfield from Scarterfield Smash Repairs in Western Australia. Frank is tuned in, does a huge amount of work for a lot of the speedway teams that travel over west to the Perth Motorplex. And I'm sure he's got a lot of great friendships. In fact, Frank was responsible for the Lisa Gregorini story on Network 10 News in Perth through his friend Lockie Reed. Got involved with James Broadhurst and they put a really good story together. And on the Lisa Gregorini moment, how special is that for our sport, mate? I know that
Yeah,
Kelsey's a big fan of what those girls do. Uh,
yeah, she's
what a moment.
yeah, big moment, and like to even just put that out on Channel 10, fantastic for the sport. Huge promotional, like great promotion for the sport, obviously, and Lisa's doing a great job driving as well. So that whole team should be proud of what they've accomplished because it's pretty big. Door Slammer, they had a huge field as well. Like,
12
it
cars.
would have been very difficult to win. So no, hats off to them.
They got a stout field for the second round of the championship at the Perth Motorplex too. 22nd, 23rd of November. Massive event coming up for them. The next time we catch up will be January 10 and 11 at New Year Nitro at Willowbank. It's always going to come up, mate, because it was a pretty spectacular debut for you at the Nitro Champs. I'm trying to work out ways I cannot bring it into a conversation, but holy cow, mate! That moment you had with Morris, where you
Yeah.
had clutch dust and all that sort of stuff. And in a moment, we're going to look at some footage of your run in the final, and people get a sense of what's going on in that car. Can you take us back to what happened in Sydney? And is that long gone out of your brain, or is it something you think I need to be respectful of these cars all the time?
Nah, respectful for the cars all the time, 100%. And it was a moment of like, big boy pants are on, treat this car with respect, or it'll bite you. Basically, to take you back to the run, it was round two at the Nitro Champs in May. Racing my teammate Morris McMillan in the Aeroflow Nitro
Yeah.
Funny Car, and look, launched, and throughout the run, the cabin filled with clutch dust. I stayed in it for too long, to be frank with you. And look, once the cabin cleared from the clutch dust, blowing out, I was looking at Morris's tail lights. The parachute's deployed on his car, and I knew I needed to get out of the road. So I tried to dart out, and unfortunately hit that right-hand concrete barrier. It's probably been a bit of a thorn on my side lately, but look, yeah, it was one of those things though that I never want to happen again. It was only a short turnaround time as well between that event and the Winter Nationals. So yeah, I'll have to handle like a lot of credit to the race shop as well. They punched out a lot of work, not only to turn around four cars, but to also prepare like a body that put that body back on that car, as well as prepare a spare. Like it was a huge ordeal. So can't thank them enough. Yeah, it was a big effort.
Josh, you said I stayed in it too long. Let's put this in perspective here a second. Almost all of your passes were in the four O's, the low four O's at the Dragway at the bend. And
Yep.
when you say that, when you go 4.04 seconds or 4.04, we get in the habit of in drag racing 4.0, 3.9, whatever. It's 4 seconds. So let's just go. That's the time it takes you to cover that distance. Now, when you said you stayed in it too long, that's it might be like that you're in it too long because you're
Yeah.
eating up that racetrack. So
Yeah.
easy to say that,
100%.
Josh, right?
Yeah.
But you're talking milliseconds.
Yeah, like these cars just accelerate so fast that you're covering so much racetrack in a short period of time. And especially when, the car's put one hole out, which it did on that run, like it just wants to move the car in one direction. So you're right, like it's milliseconds, but it's the milliseconds that count. Because if you don't correct the car from coming back into the lane or into the groove, like your run's basically done. So one of the things I've been really focusing on lately is a lot of small corrections, but
Yeah.
quick. They need to be quick, like within a millisecond. If you think that car's not going straight, you need to basically get it back in the groove. It's easier said than done to just be like, oh, yep, you need to react quicker, but also be in front of the car. It's hard. So it's all those milliseconds that count.
So let's have a look because I'm really glad you sent me this. So this is 3 minutes 25, and I want you to take me through. I'm hoping everybody can hear okay what we're analyzing here. Josh, what's going on in the car right now?
Yep. So it looks like we've just started the car up, and that, basically my right hand, or what you can see on the screen is my left hand, is holding onto that handbrake. So these cars have a handbrake, no foot brake, and I'm holding on and basically my foot on the clutch when we start it. At the moment, it looks like I'm rolling up to the burnout and I've just stood on it and I'm basically standing on it until we reach past the Christmas tree. Clutch is back in and then brake. So brake to
Let's
stop.
pause a second. Look at your eyes to start with. I mean, the intensity in what it must take to do this. What are we looking at here before we start moving again? The steering wheel itself. Explain what's going on in the middle there. You've got that clicker in the
Yeah,
middle.
so
Tell me what's going on.
yeah, so obviously we're looking at the steering wheel there, but right in the middle is the button for the parachutes. So that button is used in case if you basically don't have enough purchase to on the
Yep.
steering wheel to reach for the lever, which is actually on the left-hand screen. You use that button to push for the parachutes to deploy once you've crossed the finish line.
Okay, so
Um,
you've just done your burnout.
yeah, and then so basically it looks like I've backed up from here. I'm
Yep.
not sure. This to me looks like we're rolling up to pre-stage. So you would have noticed like a lot of fine corrections.
This is
Um,
you backing up, I thought. This is you
no, this
back
is,
after the
yeah, you're right.
burnout, right?
Correct. Yep. So I've just reached down and put it back into forward gear, clutch out, and just rolled forward a little bit. Body's coming up. So you'll notice that I've just clipped my visor in, and oxygen is now being fed into the helmet. So I've reached across and grabbed the switch. I'm looking forward to see what Brody and Craig are doing. They're basically setting the idle and fuel, pulling off the throttle, stop, charging the cannon, a few bits and pieces like that. I'm You'll notice I'll actually look straight ahead, and what I'm looking out for is the finish line. I'm looking for that. Basically, they've got like a big sign on the concrete barrier. I'm looking at that, going and aiming for that. Um, the thing about the orange visor is that it takes out all the color. So you're basically
Ah,
looking at shapes and lines. You're not looking at color. So I'm really focusing on where that finish line is, because it sounds weird, but when you're traveling like that fast, you can confuse the literally the half track mark for the 1,000 foot mark,
wow.
when the t color's taken out of it. And with which you're about to see in a moment, like with how chaotic and violent the cars are, with the pure vibrations, your vision's impaired. So it's quite hard to see. So you're just focusing on where that finish line is.
Josh, are you reminding yourself to breathe at this point? Because that might sound like a stupid thing to say, but
Nah,
there's
it's
a
not.
lot going on.
Yeah, I actually take some deep breaths before we even start the car. So when we roll through the tunnel, it's all about focus, breathing, getting your heart rate right. You can see there I'm squinting one eye to the
Yeah.
other for the chin strap. So literally I'm pulling down on my chin strap to make sure my vision is going to be fine for when we launch. And now I'm looking up for the tree. I think Brody's or I'm probably staring at Brody at the moment, waiting to
And the
let
tree
him
is
go into
angled
pre-stage.
at the bend. The tree is angled, right? The lights are angled towards your lane, so you can't actually see the lights in the other lane, right?
No, no.
That's got to be a good thing, right? For singular focus or not?
Yeah, no, no, it's good. I think it's a good thing because it takes out some of the distraction. You want to be as focused as possible, and the least amount of distractions is better.
Okay, so what did you just do with your right hand just then? I saw you just lean forward the lever.
Yeah, yep. So I've just noticed Brody's walked past, so he's probably told me to go into pre-stage. So brake off and clutch out just to start rolling the car forward. That looks like I've hit pre-stage. Fuel on, clutch out, bang bang into full stage and launch.
All right, so let's just go back a second because it just fascinates me. So you've just done a whole lot of this, a whole lot of this, and suddenly you have to blows my mind. Okay, what are you doing there?
Yep. So I'm just inching the car into stage and then waiting for the basically ambers to drop. And then once I see those ambers, bang, mash the throttle. Um, yeah.
How far were you pointing to the left-hand side just then, mate? Like that thing
Yeah,
was never
that's
straight in your hands.
yep. So you can see I make some small corrections in the early part of the run, and then towards the top end of the run, especially towards the finish line, I've got that steering wheel cranked, and that's to avoid, basically hitting that concrete barrier. I've yeah, once I've crossed the finish line, I've hit the parachute button to deploy the chutes, and then slowing down. I'm probably coming up to halfway down the braking area, realizing what's just happened, seeing the all of the Aeroflow and the Hearts crew on the side of the concrete barrier and giving them a the roof hatch, a bit of a nudge to let them know I'm
Keen to
seeing them
get
and I know
out.
what's going on.
Rightio, so let's listen to the audio here because I know it's you and you won't swear. This is where you, what a moment this must be.
Yep. So this is just taking the turn off and realizing what's happened and
It felt like Walsh to me.
I think that spud that bolted over. Yeah. Special moment. That's when, yeah, all of it basically ended up being an Aeroflot army, coming over and yeah, celebrating with us down the top end. Very special moment.
Hello to Pete Pirano as well. The Penguin is tuned in. Mario Tassoni is tuned in. David Archer, congratulations. David became a dad with his lovely partner Mel only yesterday, I think, actually. So just going through some of the people that are tuned in. Daryl Stephen is tuned in, another one of the drag racing royalty. Wayne Newby. Wow. I can't even imagine what's going on in that lounge room right now. We won't even think about it. Adam Layton, good to have him tuned in as well. Chucky Brookie Rogers is tuned in as well. What is it about this team? Everybody's pregnant. But what is going on? Monza's tuned in. What a moment, she says. How have you guys got any time to make babies? You got Nitro Funny Cars put on the track, mate.
Yeah, they do take up a lot of our time. Morris does remind us that these cars, they don't run on nitro, they run on money and people. And all of their hard work matters. So
They
yeah.
run on money and
Without
people.
the yeah, without the hard work, that they don't make it to the racetrack.
There was a truly magical moment. And one thing I love the most about the bend is how close the spectators are in the Colosseum, in that 60-foot area. And when you come back down that return road, those fans, South Aussie fans, they're just into it. Like if I say, get up on your feet, folks, they're boom, up on their feet. And you had some really emotional stuff as you came down the return road.
Yep. Yeah, after that A final, that was a very special moment. And to see my mum and dad up on the hill there and like that was yeah, priceless, like unforgettable moment. Once we pulled up and just stopped just before going through the tunnel, I spotted them and I had to go up and run up and up onto the fence and give them a hug because they're my. It's like I've got my personal cheerleaders there. It's a special feeling. It's including having my sister and her husband there too. That was amazing. So, look, my dad's been there since I started racing always and has been and I wouldn't have it any other way, he's always going to be involved. Even at that event, my mum and dad are there helping cooking the food for the team or setting up Aeroflow flags. Like it's yeah, I really love their support. It means a lot.
You've really had the highs and the lows of this game in 3 rounds. Like the first round was probably one of the worst ways you could experience
Yeah.
it, but a sobering reminder of how these cars can bite you. And I think it was Tommy Johnson Jr. that said when he first came out here last year, he said these cars will fight you to stay out of the center. Like there's just it's like, nope, not going to the center. You're going to have to work hard on this yourself.
Yep.
To then go to Willowbank, get to settle down, run Willowbank with a brand new surface and be part of the Winter Nationals in front of a standing room only crowd. To then come to the Bend, you've run three different racetracks and had three very different results.
Yeah, it's the highs and lows of drag racing. Like it's literally a roller coaster. And I think that's what always brings us back is it's racing the cars and the victories come with the downs as well. So look, when it beats you down, you've got to get back up because if you don't, you'll miss out on opportunities like what happened at the Bend. So it is a roller coaster and one that we're addicted to as well. So we love drag racing, always have and always will. So yeah, it's something special. But as well, when you've got a good support group around you, it makes
Mm,
it so much better. Like to have the whole Aeroflow crew around us, including the Hearts team as well.
yeah.
They support you when you're down and they celebrate your wins as well. So we're a one team, one dream mantra. And we all celebrated the win on with the Bend. We also celebrated Justin's championship win. But at the same time, when the going gets tough and the steering wheel attendant makes a mistake at the Nitro Champs, everyone digs in to make sure that car's there at the next event.
I was so thrilled for Adam Murray. They have had just a brutal, year where they've had speed. They've been in the 500k range, more often than they haven't, but they just haven't been able to put runs together. And Brett Emma, like I know that Brett goes through an enormous amount emotionally, and I saw a post just the other day of how much he misses his beautiful wife and how he's so singularly focused. I think our sport, to a lot of degree, Josh, it helps people get through things. It's a singular focus, and it's our church. That's probably the best way to put it.
Yep, that's true.
But
Yep.
Brett and Adam having his boys around him, and it's such a great community, mate.
Yeah, it is. One big racing family, honestly, and awesome to see Adam as well. I think they had their own wins as well as far as a PB. That was their first 4.0 that they've been
Yeah.
chasing. Amazing. Um, I spoke to Brett after the event and he said, "Yep, two wins for us. Don't blow the stickers off the sides and run a 4.0." So tick tick, and the fact that they made the A final too is awesome. So yeah, I feel like we all went left the Bend with our own personal wins and team wins as well. So which is pretty special.
Yeah.
Um,
He didn't hit the
uh,
timing boxes as well, which is really
yeah,
important.
yeah, that's very important. Yeah. Yeah, not a good feeling when you hit one of those timing blocks or the concrete barrier. So, no, that they're an awesome team. We love racing them as well and want them to stay in the class too. They're doing a fantastic job.
The three amigos in the middle that do such a great job. We talked about, the NDRC boys that the start line stuff, the racetrack stuff, the organizing stuff. Very very big part of KSOS does an amazing job hiding the old remote control so you guys don't know what's going on. I want to send a shout out to Kate Lawyer. Kate does an excellent job for me as an announcer. She gives me so much information. I go two doors down immediately after the run. She prints off all the runs, all the information, which is crucial for me to go down the steps and then talk to you guys, relive it. Okay, so why'd you run there? What was the 4.0 like? What did this? So the information that Kate provides, there's so many people in this big aircraft carrier, Josh, of how a race event runs. There's so many unsung heroes.
Yeah, there definitely is. And I tell you what, the NDRC have the right recipe at the moment. That's my opinion because they're doing a fantastic job with the series. Like you just got to look at how last year's series panned out, and it was fantastic. And now the fact that we've got, the basically a calendar for this year that looks amazing. We're going to fantastic racetracks. They're going to be great events. It really is a testament to the organization.
Yeah,
Having a great promoter like Andy is
yeah,
fantastic. As you just said, Andrew Casos, with his experience on the start line, Justin Simpson doing a great job doing the track prep. I think it was Friday night. We're all going to bed, and my head's hit the pillow, and I can hear the tractor going up and down
yeah.
down the racetrack. It's that extra bit of commitment that makes the days run smoothly and makes them run great.
So there's a guy named Tex Griffiths whose name has just popped up just then, and this reminds me of a great Andy story. And Nathan Prendergast too is who's just the brains and the creative and the incredible TV coverage and all that sort of stuff with his amazing team. Um, Speaking about my favorite MotoGP rider from Spain, Randy Lopez. Andy was there at the end of all those presentations, doing all those Aeroflow Sportsman presentations, those national championship trophies himself. Like he could have had somebody else do it, but he was down there doing it. And I'll be honest, Andy wasn't a drag racing fan 2 years ago, Josh. Like he just wasn't. He was an entertainment manager and Summer Nats promoter, but now he really cares about the people that are involved in this sport.
Yep, which is a massive thing, right? Because if you're welcoming the drag races and drag racing community with open arms, we'll welcome you back with open arms. So it's an important thing, but also that like the level of commitment that he has to our sport is, yeah, it doesn't go unnoticed. It really means a lot to us. So we
Yeah,
appreciate Andy and we appreciate Jason as well for their help in promoting our sport because without that we don't get to race our cars and we want to race. So it
yeah.
means a lot. Yeah. It means a
Nicole
lot.
and Matt and Lily,
Yeah.
so many of that team. Grant Stevens takes amazing photos,
Yeah,
like
he
wow,
does. Yeah.
cackling pipes. And I mean, there's so many great photographers that do such an epic job. In a minute, we are going to give away two passes to Nitro up north. New Year's Nitro, I should say. Nitro up north was at Darwin. But New Year's Nitro at Willowbank, January 10, 11. Now, you have to be able to go to this event. So we're going to give away two tickets. And you're going to have to be the first person to say, hello, Rusty Gregory, did a great job on the weekend there as well. You have to be the first person in my messages to say the answer to this question, but don't answer it unless you can be at the event on January 10, 11. So if you're going to win these tickets, the question is, what is the nickname? Took me a while to come up with this of Josh Leahy's beautiful wife's racing program. So, what is her nickname? It's two words in it. It's all I'm going to give you. You need to be the first person that pops up on my messenger thing here that's watching to tell me, and you will win two tickets to New Year Nitro on January 10 and 11. Will Knight's watching, John Short's watching, Corey Redwood's watching, Solomon Grant is watching, Tim Datson, Bob Morse. Nobody said it yet. Come on. What is? Oh, John White. Got it. Gascal. There you go. So there you go. Well done. And I love the stuff she's doing. Let's talk about your wifey for a second.
Yeah.
She's done racing for a little while, one would imagine, with a bub on the way in March. But I really love the program that she's put together, her artwork and her t-shirts and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, she's done a great job to put all that together. When she got the car, we were like, we feel like we need to give it a name because it's
Yeah.
like we need a character, and that just makes it even more special. We've often had chats about, okay, what will we do if we sold the car? And that quickly gets shut down. There's no selling it. It's staying as a family heirloom now.
Yep.
But yeah, it's actually really cool seeing some of the merchandise around the pits, even when she's not racing. To think that people are out buying that it's actually really, really special. She does a great job at promoting herself as well as her car and her racing program too. So couldn't be
Solomon
more.
Grant is going to win instead, Josh, because John White's on our team. So Solomon Grant actually put Gas Girl. Now, is it Gas Girl or Gas Gal?
Gascal. Yeah, Gascal.
Oh, this is getting pretty intense. I better just check the messages here. So John said gas gal. Solomon said gas girl. Somebody better type real quick. Someone better type gas girl quickly. Quickly now. I think it's partly as well because everyone loves her so much, mate. Like, she's just such an incredibly lovable human being that spends so much joy and huge smile on her face. Your story is fantastic too. You met in the lanes, didn't you? Like junior drag racing back in the day?
Yeah. We met when we were 15, racing junior dragsters. And yeah, like I'm from the Gold Coast. She's from Canberra. I've moved down to Canberra to be with her now. And um, pretty cool being a 15-year-old lining up against your girlfriend then and whatnot. But yeah, I wouldn't have it any other way now. Like 16 years on, and we're still racing together. We do everything together. It's going to feel a little bit weird when, she's not on the start line in January
Yeah.
with us, but she's still going to be with us on the weekend. So that's what matters. And yeah, we've just always been with each other's racing
Yeah.
program. We actually haven't missed any from each other really. So
So you moved from the Gold Coast to Canberra. Man, that's love.
yep,
I
that's what
mean,
everyone tells me.
Don't get me wrong, nothing wrong with Canberra, but I would trade June in the Gold Coast over June in Canberra all day, every day.
Oh, it gets cold here in over winter. Yeah, it's a good time to get out of Canberra during winter and back up north to some warmer climate. So,
Yeah.
but we live here now.
Holy cow, you are a gold Christmas tree winner after only 3 rounds of competition in the Aeroflow Nitro Funny Car. You lead the points going to New Year Nitro. Where's the tree, by the way? Where does it sit in the lounge room?
Nah, the hardware's safely tucked away in the race trailer at the moment.
Okay.
But yeah, like never thought I'd get a gold Christmas tree and Nitro Funny Car. If you told me that 12 months ago, I would have laughed and said you're dreaming. And then the points thing like didn't even occur to me. But look, I think Morris even said it down in the deep end after that A final. He's yeah going to be trying to chase this next event. So no doubt he'll do good at the next event, and we'll see how the points plan out from there. But I'll be trying my best. Try my best to as we did last event, just round by round.
Yeah. We were told Walshy's only just tuned in. It's 8:33 and Justin Walsh has got out of the bath. I would say he's been in there with his rubby ducks and his bath bombs for sure. So he finally, wow. Nicole and I were talking today about what we're going to call this segment, and we're trying to work out some different names. And I thought the deep end is actually not a bad name for a segment because that's when you get there and you review your run and you do all that sort of stuff. So now I'm thinking about Justin Walsh in the bath. I'm thinking, wow, you wouldn't want to be anywhere near the deep end or the shallow end on that one. And now he's put so dreamy. God, he's a lunatic. Fix
Jeez.
your glasses,
No,
Walsh.
yeah, he's definitely a larrikin. Even that shot of when you came over to us in the staging lanes and talking through what's in the tow car, and there's Walshy poking his head through like he's a clown at the circus,
Yeah.
or at the festival.
I
Like,
love that stuff, Josh. Hello to Damien Muscat as well. Musco's getting all set to head to Dragway at the Bend for that big motorbike extravaganza. Damien does an epic job on his socials. He really knocks out of the park. Nitro Voodoo, get across it because, he's got Smokey in the Bandit or something like that as well. But he does a great job with his socials. I love that filling in stuff we have to do sometimes and getting around the teams and that's how we got the whole Spud launch thing off the burnout now and that's
yeah,
become a thing and the
yeah.
racing is cool but there's so many good parts to the family and the characters in this game.
No, there definitely is, and it's funny you say that. Probably, yeah. People don't know Spud's real name is Brendan, but like, it's funny. Like, if someone says, "Oh, where's Brendan?" We're like, "Who?" And they're like, "Oh, Spud. Yep, that's right." Um, it's fun having nicknames for everyone, but like at the same time, everyone's got a a positive outlook on racing and wants to be there for the right reasons, and that's what makes it enjoyable. We're a big racing family, and
Yeah.
yeah, the character, you're right. The characters involved make it even more fun.
Absolutely.
Um,
There's a bloke, an old guy who reminds me every time I see him or talk to him how old he is, that lives with his lovely wife, Wendy. And I'm sure they park up on the couch and they watch absolutely every single minute of it. And as you would know, GC has that thing he says, there's no finish line. That's his mantra. There's no finish line. And boy, that guy's come a long way from a bloke that used to melt down his mother-in-law's pots and pans to take it for scrap and make
yeah,
money. And they've built that rocket and Aeroflow dynasty into something absolutely spectacular, and he's the heart and soul of Aeroflow Nitro Funny Cars. It is 2036. We're going to give that win to Solomon. He eventually spelt it right. John sort of jumped in there and he's not allowed to win. So Solomon is our winner. So Nicole is going to note that, I'm sure. You have to put up with Christmas before you get to have a skid again, before you get another Christmas tree attempt.
yeah. Look, the silly season's actually not that far away, really, but it's all hands on deck in the race shop trying to get the cars ready for the January event, which will be fun. But not gonna lie, it's gonna be warm up there.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see, but I'm sure that yeah, we'll navigate that racetrack with whether it's in the heat during the day or after the sunset. So yeah, love going back up to Willowbank as well. It's a great
Yeah.
track up there with a lot of history too.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to talk to you at some point before we get to Christmas, but you've already got your Christmas tree, so make sure you don't put one up in the lounge room, right?
Yeah, yeah, I'll make sure it's up and I'll yeah. put some balls on it and send you a photo.
No, I can say before I wrap you up, mate. I tell everybody that you're just a class act, mate. The way you go about everything you do, the way you present at the track, out of the race suit with your crew uniform on, the way you speak, the respectful way that you engage with everybody, and Kelsey is a mirror image of that. It's one of the reasons why I was so thrilled for you to get that result that you got the other weekend. You're a very important part of drag racing in the new face of it and the way that you are so conscious and aware of the right way to do things. So, congratulations to you, mate. You're a class act, and I can't wait to see you try and get that second Christmas tree. While she'll be pissed off, I think Morris will have the shoot thing sorted, I'm pretty sure. And Adam wants to get after it as well. There's more exciting stuff coming with new driver coming up as well with Aeroflow Rocket Racing. Can't say too much about that, but I know there's some cool stuff coming as well. Have a wonderful evening. Give my love to your beautiful family, and congratulations again, mate.
Yeah, thanks, Wade. No, I really appreciate it, and it's still sinking in. But look, we'll look forward to the Nitro up north. It's going to be a good event, and yeah, I still can't believe that I'm representing Rocket and Aeroflow in the Nitro Funny Car class. So just let the good times roll, and just want to go out and do it again tomorrow. Really, so yeah,
Let's
it's
do
gonna be
this
good.
because I'm going to try see if I'm half good to try and get this done again. We're going to play out that 3 minutes 25 just with the audio up at what is going on inside this hot rod when you won the final of the first round, the Spring Nationals. I'm going to turn the volume up, the Aeroflow Nitro Funny Car Championship, and let's watch this guy at work. You're a weirdo. You're just looking at that like, yep, rightio, yep, yep. And I'm
Yep.
going, I can't even comprehend how much information is coming to you. I can't even comprehend it as a relatively normal human being.
Yeah.
How is that not weird to you?
I tell you what, like, watching it like that, I can see how you'd think that, and it feels like a bit like organized chaos there once you hit the gas. But the process comes naturally because, like, before I even debuted at the Nitro Champs, I spent hours sitting in strapped in that race car, just going through the process 100 times, just making sure I don't forget anything, and literally, it sounds weird, but closing your eyes and visualizing like what the run would be like. So yeah, I feel like that's definitely helping, but um, yeah, it's one of those things. I think practice makes perfect. So
If you win the next round, Uncle Pete's got to give you the ring for a month. That's a fair deal, isn't it? You can't take it back, right? You can get it
yeah,
resized.
Canberra's far away, isn't
Yeah,
it?
you'll be fine. Nathan Prendergast just tuned in towards the very end. Nath, we appreciate everything that you do for this National Drag Racing Championship, along with you and Lopez. Have a wonderful evening, you lunatic. It's always good to talk to you, Josh.
Thanks, Wade. Yeah, you too. Have a good one.
See you, bud.